Hey everyone, Joe Crump here. I'm with Gizmo again today. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to answer questions. I'm going to talk to you and tell you a little bit about my background and a little bit about how I got where I am today. I started investing in 1986 in Los Angeles, California. So I started with a very high-end market, in a market that was very rapidly appreciating. The reason I got into this was I was working in the movie industry at the time, and I was working as a grip, and I wanted to be a director. I wanted to write movies, and had some limited success with that, but mostly I was making my living as a grip, which is in lighting. And when I went to the set, everybody was talking about their investments. They were talking about their houses, and they were talking about how their houses were going up in value. And most of the people that I was working with, houses were going up more than they were making annually on their job. So it got me very interested in real estate, and I started buying houses. And within the first 3 years as a real estate investor, I had bought over $17 million worth of property. This was a very exciting time, and I was using loans, I was using down payments. I'd run out of money, so I was leveraging the heck out of things, but I still had a lot of equity, and we were building properties, and I was doing new construction, which is crazy. Don't ever get into that. And but things were going pretty smoothly. We were hanging out there, and I was young and anxious to make a lot of money, and we were doing well. But then the big downturn came, and the values in the Los Angeles market in 1991 dropped 30%. I lost everything. I lost all the houses I had. I lost all the property. I lost all the deals that we were working on. We had foundations. We were building on the hillside, so we had foundations that were costing, the foundation alone, the concrete and the steel pilings were costing $300,000 just to put in a foundation. And they stopped us in mid construction on those deals, saying, look, you can't have any more money. The values have dropped. You don't have enough equity. You got to put more money up in order for us to take this risk. I said, so you're just going to take this property back with a half-done foundation? I said, yeah, that's what we've got to do. That's the way this process works. So I lost all those properties. I lost my bulldozer. I lost my dump truck. I lost my concrete forms. I lost all our construction equipment. It was really unpleasant. I had people coming to my house in the middle of the night serving lawsuits. I had people threatening my life because they weren't getting paid, because we weren't getting money. We weren't getting our construction draws. So it was a very unpleasant time. I remember walking around. I lived up in the Hollywood Hills, up in the Laurel Canyon area, and I was walking my dog up in the hills, and my wife was 6 months pregnant with our first child. We were going to lose our house. We were going to lose all our cars, and I'm walking out there and looking out over the city of Los Angeles, and the whole city is on fire. It's during the riots, so I just sort of threw gas on the flames. But I'll tell you, it was a tough time, and what I ended up doing was moving back to Indiana. I didn't have any place to go, but I had family in Indiana, so we ended up moving in with my parents. And I'm 35 years old, ex-millionaire, completely broke. I managed to walk away with a couple $1,000 and start all over again. And I got into real estate, becoming a real estate agent, and I started selling properties. And it didn't take me but a year or two before I got into the top level as a real estate agent, because I understood that process. But it also forced me to learn sales. And I learned a lot about marketing through the real estate agent's company. And that was a great way to learn this process. But I also knew that I could do real estate investing, and the real estate investing was a lot more fun and a lot more profitable than being a real estate agent. And I wanted to advance that. But I also had bad credit, and I didn't have any money to invest. So I had to find a way to do that. And all the stuff that I'm teaching you came out of that time. I learned how to do this process by being forced to do it. And by using the techniques that I used early on in California, I modified those so that I could do it without credit. And it was just a matter of learning how to make deals and learning how to bring motivated buyers and sellers into me, into the process, and do it in a simple way. Now, over the years since then, I've gotten even better and better with the processes that we use, and that's the stuff that we teach. And then when the internet came along, it got a lot easier as well. And since then, we've kind of come roaring back and made this business work. And now we have a pretty good lifestyle again. And life has certainly turned positive again. So. But anyway, I guess I want to give this example for all of you who've been through this process, who've lost everything, or who've tried so long and not succeeded. It doesn't take long to succeed in this process if you have the right knowledge and if you take action on it. One of the things I was willing to do, even though I had no money and no credit, I was willing to take action on the things that I knew, and I was willing to try to figure out the things that I didn't know. And it's really, there's no failures involved. It's really just a test. The loss of the $17 million, that wasn't a failure. It was a test. And it was just a process, a step to get to the next level, And now this process, this thing that I'm doing now, these videos, this is just a process, this is just a test to see if I can get to the next level and go to the next level. Because for me, it's a game. And it's no longer a stress, there's no longer stress surrounding it. No longer do I feel, if I don't make money today, I'm going to have a problem. And I know a lot of you are in that situation. So don't let that get you down. And take the focus off yourself, because you'll succeed on a much higher level if you stop thinking about yourself. I remember when we were, when I was living with my parents, and we had a brand new baby in the house, and I had very little money coming in, and it was really very tough, very humiliating. Really brought me down a few notches. But I remember at that time, the only way that I could really accomplish anything was by not paying any attention to the problems, but focusing completely on the people that I was trying to help. And as a real estate agent, I was trying to help people find properties, or trying to help them sell their properties. And if I focused on those things and stopped focusing on myself, stopped whining and stopped worrying about, poor little me, I'd do a lot better. And it actually became fun. And I got good at it, and I got good at it fast, and I started making money. And it wasn't long before I got out of that situation, and we took over, and we got our own property, and we moved forward. And now we're living in a much nicer property over the years. And that's been a few years back. But I'll tell you, it doesn't take long to get back on your feet once you've had a loss, if you have the knowledge to be able to do that. And I want to encourage all of you who've been through what I've been through, or who are going through what I've been through, to keep moving forward, keep taking action, keep looking for the solution, and stop whining and complaining, and start worrying about helping other people rather than worrying about how bad your situation is. Man, you're eating, you've got a house over you, you got a roof over your head, you're halfway there. If you don't have those things, then go work at McDonald's. There's a place there for you to work. Get something, get some way to get some money coming in. Go clean people's houses. All you got to do is put flyers out there and clean some people's houses. Make a little bit of money. Make enough money to live on and get a roof over your head. You need a telephone and a classified ad, newspaper, in order to do the stuff that I'm teaching. So if you've got those things, you can make money in this business. You don't need anything else besides a telephone and a classified ad. You can get both of those things pretty darn cheap. So take action, move forward, and don't lose hope. Things aren't going to be black forever. Good luck to you.